We have tons of massive wrestling news stories and topics that we're going to be discussing in today's video. So as always, I'm going to put those timestamps in the description down below. We're going to kick things off with Hasbulla. If you guys don't know who he is, man, I don't know what to tell you. He's pretty much everywhere on social media. Everywhere I look, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, I'm always seeing these clips of Hasbulla. Hasbulla has made a name known for his social media. And, well, to be honest with you, it's not really surprising that WWE wanted Hasbulla. In fact, the New York Times had reported that WWE higher-ups contacted his team to ask if he'd like to be at WrestleMania 39 alongside Snoop Dogg and KSI. Now, unfortunately, Hasbulla's team had to deny the request, and the reason being is he actually made plans to go to Saudi Arabia for a Ramadan, and therefore he obviously couldn't make it out to WrestleMania. Now, the thing is, WWE has actually been interested in bringing Hasbulla into the company for a while, which makes a lot of sense. I don't expect WWE to do really anything other than have Hasbulla sit in the crowd or something like that, maybe some backstage stuff. But at the same time, too, WWE is headed to Night of Champions in just about a month or so. And with that, WWE will be in Saudi Arabia. So you have to wonder if WWE still tries to bring in Hasbulla. Hasbulla obviously involved with the UFC and so many other things. He's really known in the combat sports community, which I think is interesting. But a lot of people who don't follow sports or anything like that still know who Hasbulla is. Keep in mind, I think he has like 9 million followers just on like Instagram alone. So very, very interesting stuff. Hasbulla has become a big name. And it's so like WWE to want to bring in Hasbulla in. Like, I could understand why WWE would want to do this. And I'm not shocked that they even went for it for WrestleMania. But I do hope at some point we get to see him make some sort of cameo in some light, in some way with WWE. It would be really nice. Guys, WWE, LWO, what's going on? A lot of people are telling me on Twitter, oh my God, they're getting buried, especially because we're seeing Del Toro Cruz and Joaquin Wilde, they're losing triple threat tag team matches. Oh my God, they must be getting buried. Guys, that actually doesn't appear to be the case. I think anybody who knows what's going on here pretty much can see it happening. But nonetheless, there's been multiple reports that have come out that have expressed LWO as being the #1 merchandise seller for WWE. So, with that being said, now there's a new report from Slice Wrestling, who we've talked about in the past, has nailed some pretty big stories. This one is interesting to me because WWE officials reportedly want Rey Mysterio to develop this young LWO into a more prominent group. They basically want Rey Mysterio to turn the LWO into a really, really big thing. And a lot of this is due to WWE officials being high on Santos Escobar, and they really want Rey Mysterio to kind of be the guy to help him get to the next level. And then also, if you think about it too, WWE has Zelina Vega. They have a troubled women's division. This could definitely help Zelina Vega. Whether she wins or loses against Rhea Ripley, I don't think that really matters, right? I think the big thing here is Zelina Vega just being primed for actual singles matches that are big singles matches. I think a lot of people forget how often she wasn't actually wrestling before the LWO, right? And obviously WWE wanting to push the LWO makes sense, right? They're making money, they're a merchandise seller, they're getting the crowd reactions, they got the new theme music. You got such a really cool young group, and the plan is for WWE to expand the group as well, which I think could be a really good idea too. I'm really in favor with a lot of these factions being used, and I've said this about AEW and WWE. The more that these factions exist and more people being on TV, I like. It gets people on TV. It gets people involved. And you got to remember, WWE is not about wins and losses. So if you're losing a triple threat tag team match, I think that's fine. That's pretty logical. It makes a lot of sense. But if we start seeing tag team match after tag team match after tag team match, right, and they're just constantly losing, then that's very troublesome. Guys, nonetheless, I want to turn our attention to our next story. We're going to talk about AEW Fight Forever. Really exciting news here. For those who don't know, Insider Gaming is reporting that, AEW Fight Forever is actually done. And all the promo material that they were supposed to post and edit and record and all of these different things, that is also completed. So a lot of people are wondering what's going on with AEW Fight Forever. I think we are one giant step closer to the release of the game. I don't care what people say. The game might not look like WWE 2K, but when you're playing a wrestling game, you want to have fun with the wrestling game. And all I could really hope for at this stage, we have the really, really, really dominant, like physical, attractive game, right? WWE 2K23 visually is just next level stuff. AEW, on the other hand, kind of looks like the opposite. It doesn't look like it went the same direction, which I don't think was their intention. But the good thing is the game is supposed to be an arcadic wrestling fun experience. And whether you like or hate AEW, I don't think that actually matters. I think people are going to see a wrestling game when they go to the store and say, I want to buy that game. So for those who came up on wrestling games, the No Mercies, Here Comes the Pain, Shut Your Mouth, all those other games, right? There's been so many great ones in our past. I think a lot of wrestling fans will be excited to see this game. I'm ready for the game to come out. I can't wait to see it come out, and I can't wait to play it live on YouTube. Guys, we got to talk about a WWE return. We're talking about Alexa Bliss. A new report has come out. I do not know the validity of this article, of this Twitter account. This is a new account that I've never talked about. I've never referenced this account. So obviously take this with a grain of salt. However, this specific report has been floating around social media like wildfire. So it's definitely been passed around. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of companies are aggregating this same news story. But essentially, the Boozer Wrestling account, this is a new Twitter account, has come out and said that WWE is reportedly wanting Alexa Bliss for Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Now, the thing is, WWE has been reportedly interested in having Alexa Bliss come back. A lot of people were wondering if there's ties between her and Bray Wyatt. Obviously, WWE had some stuff going on with Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy. Do we get back to that? Are we getting a different version of Alexa Bliss? There's a lot of questions that people are asking here. But if Alexa Bliss is coming back and she's back at Night of Champions, I just want to say, pay attention to anything that has to do with her backstage segments or promos. Because if she returns at Backlash, if she returns at Raw on the draft, like if she returns to SmackDown, whatever it is, right? When she returns, pay attention to those backstage segments, because if we're not getting any Uncle Howdy or Bray Wyatt references, it's safe to say that WWE is going to move on from that whole story. And then, guys, it brings us to our final topic, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are, they get everybody talking. We know their contracts are reportedly up at the end of the year. And, of course, just like the smart people they are, they changed their Twitter bio. And every time they change their Twitter bio, it's typically something to tease or something to have fun with and, poke at or whatever. This time they say, before we hang it up, we would love to wrestle the Usos just to see if we could break the all-time super kick record. Now, this is funny considering a lot of people have been talking about the Usos doing a shit ton of super kicks on Friday Night SmackDown. And this is just where wrestling tribalism annoys the hell out of me. I might not be into wrestling match and well, hold on, because a lot of people are going to try to flip this around. I like good wrestling matches, but I like good wrestling matches with storylines and character progression, right? That's my philosophy on wrestling. So the thing is, if Young Bucks, which by the way, I think Young Bucks are actually great storytellers. By the way, a lot of people seem to dismiss that because they just do a whole bunch of great moves. No, they are great storytellers, and the Usos are great storytellers. I don't give a shit how many super kicks, I don't care how many flips or anything you do. Give me a good story, do some great character progression, have some nice teases, have the small little nuances, and my friends, you can do a main event WrestleMania match. And I am sure some WWE tribalist or AEW tribalist will sit here and tell me that is stupid, that is dumb, they can't do it, but I don't believe that for one bit. I don't believe that for one bit. And I'm staying firm on that. All right, guys. With that being said, will the Young Bucks go to WWE? Anything is possible. You never know. We'll keep you updated along the way. Lots of great things happening in wrestling, guys. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not. I'll see you next time.